Okay, so let's repot some ferns. I typically do this in late summer. Sometimes I do it early spring. I get my dirt, I get some plastic, I have my trash can, I have my snips, and my hori-hori. I put in coffee filters in the bottom of my pots to help with dirt not running out. It covers up the drainage holes, but it doesn't keep water from draining out. This is a Kimberly Queen. She wasn't root bound, but she was struggling because she just didn't have any strong roots. So what I did is I gave her fresh new dirt, trimmed her up a little bit, added water. Now this sucker is a Macho, and I'm gonna show you how long it took me to get this sucker out of a pot. If you've got big ferns, do not put them in heavy containers. You need them in lightweight plastic so that you can try to move them around. It took me 15 minutes to get this fern out. It was so root bound. I mean, I tugged, I pulled, I wrestled, I got covered in mud. I finally got it out. It was severely root bound. I think I've already said that. The roots were growing in a circle, and that's why the fern is not thriving. It has a sister who is monstrous. This one is not monstrous. So I finally get it out, and you can see, once I get the whole thing out, how the roots are just growing around the pot. They're not growing down, they're growing around. And it's just one big knotted mess. And so there was a lot of old dirt in that pot that the roots could not reach. I don't throw that away. I take that and go put that in my flower beds, because even though it might not have a lot of nutrients, something is better than nothing. So don't go throw that in the trash. So what you do is you take your snips, clean snips. You have to use clean snips. Don't go get the dirty ones, and snip all the way around that root system to break those roots up. And if you don't, you can use a sharp spade, but with this kind of situation, there was no dirt. It was literally just roots. And that's why it was drying out so fast, because it couldn't get any water to its root system. So all the way around the fern, you clip it and you kind of fan it out. So you're encouraging those roots to grow down and not around. So here comes the coffee filters. Again, I just tear them open and lay them in the bottom of the pot. It covers the drainage hole so that the dirt doesn't run out, but the water can. And then I put my fern back in there, and I gave it a little haircut. So there's a lot of dead branches in the center of it. I just took the snips and trimmed around a lot of that dead. I didn't get all of it, but it just cleans it up and gets it on its way a little quicker. And then after that, I went around the sides of the fern and added dirt to make sure she had plenty of dirt. And I picked her up and dropped her a few times to settle the dirt. And then I added more dirt after I dropped it, just because the dirt settles. Then I move it to where I want it before I water it. It's a lot easier to move it when they're not heavy with water. This one is a smaller fern. It's a Boston. It is also root bound. So I used my hori-hori to knock off all the old dirt and break up the root system, because it wasn't as root bound as the other one, and then put fresh dirt in the bottom, dropped it in its container, added dirt to the side. These two are not root bound, but they were in small containers. And so what I did is I went up in container size, and I just used my hori-hori just to break up the dirt a little bit, put them in fresh dirt, added some around the sides, move them where I want them, and then I watered them. Now I'm just picking up my plastic, and I cleaned up my mess. And I love my cart, my wheelbarrow. It's so easy to just load up all my junk and haul it off. And then I sprayed off the patio, and that is it. That's how you repot a fern.